Okay, everyone, let's continue working on chapter 8 with another example. So again, I recommend you after watching this, after reading this example, pause the video and make sure that you will go through the problem yourself and solve it and then look at the solution. So for this example, you have four alternatives and we want to use the rate of return method to determine part A. Which one to select if MAR is 17% and the proposals are independent. So part A is talking about the scenario that the projects are independent. If you recall, we said when the projects are independent, it means that we are comparing them with do nothing. So when MAR is 17%, you also have the rate of return already given for each alternative over here. So if the projects are independent, it means that when I star is greater than minimum attractive rate of return, you can select those alternatives. So I would say among the list of A, B, C, D, the ones which are greater than 17% will be selected. So therefore, I can say B and C will be selected. Because we can have more than one alternative. We discussed this before. Part B is saying that if MAR is this time 14.5% and the projects are mutually exclusive. If mutually exclusive, it means that they are compared against each other. So the first thing to do is to compare and follow the procedure. We have to sort them in an increasing order of their initial investments. A, B, C, D is the initial investment order. But it seems that if MAR is 14.5%, already I can eliminate A because its I is less than 14.5%. So I have B, C, D that I have to compare. The first round that I have to do the comparison is C versus B. I need to create the incremental cash flow and see what happens. So C minus B, something that you can check over here in this section, you already have kind of like a matrix that gives you the incremental rate of incremental analysis rate of return. So it means that when you compare B with A, for example, is 43.3% as your rate of return. C versus A is delta I, or D versus A has 17.8% and so on. So I really do not need to do calculation. So C versus B, so it means that I want to determine I star for C minus B. So if you want to look at it, you will see that BC is 10%, which is less than minimum attractive rate of return of 14.5%. Therefore, I would say B wins. If it's less than that, it means that you will select a cheaper project. You will select B. I'll go back to this list. I will eliminate C. The next alternative that I have, comparison that I have is B and D. D versus B. So I need to determine the I star for D minus B. DB has again 10% delta I, so it's again less than your MAR. So again, if it's less than that, so you will select the cheaper project. So it means B again will be selected in this round. I'll go back to this list. I will eliminate D. So it seems that finally B is the champion of this round. So B is the champion. Okay, that is the answer for part B. Then we can move to part C. Part C says that which one to select if MAR is 10% and the projects are mutually exclusive. Again, I have to sort the alternatives in an increasing order of their initial cost, A, B, C, D. And again, start doing the comparison. So I have to determine I star for B minus A and B minus A following this table is 43.3%, 43.3%. Your MAR this time is 10%, obviously greater than MAR. So what you do, you will select the more expensive one. So B is selected in this round. I'll go back to this list. I will eliminate A. The next comparison that I have is to compare C minus B. C minus B, if you look at this table, you will see CB again is 10%, which is the same as your MAR. Okay, so really at this point, you can say that both alternatives are viable, but generally, I would say both alternatives are viable. But if I want to follow the procedure, if I want to refer you back to this, it says even if they are equal, you will drop the defender. So when it is equal, you will drop the defender. So you will select B as say C wins over here. So I will come back to this list. I will drop B. Defender will be dropped. So C wins in this round. The last round that I have over here is to compare D versus C. So D minus C. Again, if you look at that, it will be equal to 10%, which is equal to MAR. And if that is the case, again, similar thing that we did, we would drop the defender, we would drop the cheaper one. So D will be selected, D wins. So I will come back over here, I will eliminate C, and I will say D is champion in part C of this example. So if I ask you, for example, what is the next best alternative, again, have in mind that always you cannot just simply say CD was the last comparison. So if D was selected as the first alternative, then C will be the next best alternative. No, that's not always the case. You need to go back to your list of A, B, C, D. We know D is selected. Rerun your analysis for A, B, C comparison to determine the next best alternative. So with this example, we can wrap chapter 8. So please let me know if you have any questions.